Welcome to Rock Hard Greece. Welcome to a magazine of a country that has always been very fond of you and your voice.
I'm very, very lucky, man, to have the wonderful support of Greek fans. I've had wonderful times in Greece. When I joined Iron Maiden, Greece was early on in the tour, and I was the new guy. I didn't know what to expect. And the Greek fans took me to their heart. They gave me a chance to do my thing, and it's been fantastic, really. So I've always looked forward to coming to Greece, tried to find any opportunity. It's not always easy because of factors outside of music to get and come and play in Greece because I'm such a small artist, and really in the scheme of things, I'm tiny. But there are fans there that love me, and I love those fans. I love coming to your wonderful country. So it's something I always look forward to. Always try. My team are always trying to get us some shows in Greece, and I've got such great memories from being there on the X Factor tour in Greece and the people I've met. And since then, when I've been back, I've always had wonderful support and a wonderful reaction.
So this interview is about the X Factor and the 26th anniversary of the album that was released on the 2nd of October 1995. The obvious question for the start, uh, had it ever crossed your mind, even in your wildest dreams, when you toured with Iron Maiden while in Wolf's Bay, that you would replace Bruce Dickinson a few years later? You toured
No,
with them in 1990, No Prayer for the Dying tour, for those who don't know.
no, not at all. Um, and I think here's the thing: my voice is so different to Bruce. I love Bruce's voice. I was a fan of Iron Maiden, and some of the songs that Paul did. I really love Paul's voice on some songs on those two albums. But coming from where I did with Wolfsbane, I didn't think that they would want my voice. I thought with Bruce leaving, I thought they would get someone that sounded like Bruce, which you could choose from 100 singers around the world at that time, because Bruce Dickinson, such an influential singer in the world of metal, that there were lots of people that sounded like Bruce that Maiden could have got. And they didn't do that. So they got a different voice. So my era is a change. The voice from the X Factor and Virtual 11, it's a change for Maiden. And Steve Harris heard something when we were on that tour together, when I was warming up. He heard something in my voice that really captured his imagination. And they got me, and that was it. I think there was a change.
We will.
X Factor sounds different when you listen to Sign of the Cross. That's not written for Bruce. There's no music written at all when I joined Iron Maiden. Steve Harris said to me, "There's nothing written at all, and I don't care who writes the songs, they just have to be great songs." And that was open. And so working with Yannick Gers, working closely with Steve Harris, Dave Murray, and Nico, then that really started to come together. And Steve Harris would find these particular areas of my voice which really come to life on Sign of the Cross, on the Klansman, on Lord of the Flies, Judgment of Heaven, that a different side on the Aftermath, a different side of my voice. And that was something different. And it marked this big change for Maiden as they made a transition into what we'll probably say is a progressive era of Iron Maiden. Well, for me, before that, songwriting was a little bit hit and miss, and sometimes I felt like, oh, great, it's a happy accident. I had the idea for a song and I wanted it like this. Oh, and it's turned out that way. But working with people with so much experience, in particular Steve Harris, then it's no. You can take the idea from here, and with enough knowledge and experience, you can take this idea, and on the CD, you can have that idea as you thought of it. And that was a revelation for me. So my greatest song, though not on the X Factor, for me, the best thing is from Virtual 11, and it's Como Estas Amigos. It's very simple, filled with emotion, and guided by Steve and Yannick. It's like, well, it doesn't quite go there, but it's going the right way. Go here. And with a lot of patience, we took it, went in the right way, and now it's that's my hallmark song. We did Virus. Everybody in the band sat in the same room to write Virus together. So some of the lyrics are Steve's and some of the lyrics are mine. And that came together in a very, very special way. And with the X Factor, as we're finding different parts of my voice, there's an extra third of my voice I didn't know I had. I never used before. And Steve Harris and Nigel Green got that sound out of me and put it on the X Factor. And then we've got 11 saintly shrouded men, silhouettes stand against the sky. Where did that come from? I don't know. You know, I don't care for this world anymore. And it was an incredible experience. And now, what the X Factor means to me, my new album, War Within Me, you can listen to that and see direct influence from the X Factor album in some of the arrangements and things that we've done.
Okay, I have so many details about the X Factor, so let's do it. And is it true that Steve Harris called you to join Iron Maiden, and you said that you would stay with Wolfsbane and perhaps see it through? Is that true? What did you do when you hung up the phone?
Well, at that point, I was absolutely committed and believed that Wolfsbane were going to make it to the next level. But it was the era of grunge. And people at that time, it seemed, the way the magazines were and everything, people didn't want to be happy. And in Wolfsbane, we were very, very serious, and we still are when we get together, very serious about our music and what we do, what it means. But we don't take ourselves that seriously, because it's kind of ridiculous jumping up and down on stage pretending to be a rock star. But our music we're deadly serious about. But I really believed at that time that we were just on the edge of the next level. I was completely wrong. We weren't. From that point, we just went down. And that was it as well. We had a tour booked, and I didn't want to let the guys in the band down. So that was it. You know, we're still we've made up now. We're friends with Wolfsbane. When I left Maiden, I was treated very, very well by the guys, and so I'm in a good place now with everybody. But
Yeah.
very weird times, man. You can imagine the great, in my opinion, the greatest heavy metal band of all time. And I thought, well, it's highly unlikely that I would ever be the singer of that band.
Yeah, and did finally Steve call you, or did Rod Smallwood call you, or did you call Steve Harris to tell him that you're in
that
for
was
the
just
audition?
an odd. This was all before auditions, and before that, I think maybe it was just something that Steve was thinking about, and he phoned me to see what I was doing. I said, "Well, I'm in the middle of a tour. We got a new album coming out. I really think I'm going to make it," and that was it. And no,
Yeah,
then
and
after
then for
that,
the audition, yeah.
and then after that, and after that, then people they asked people to send tapes in, and all of that, and that was
Is
it. It
it
was
true
just
that
the same.
when you were driving to the audition for Iron Maiden, there was a huge snowstorm,
Yeah, that's
and
absolutely.
you were many hours late?
It's absolutely true. Yeah, it was in the UK. If you have if you have 5 millimeters of snow in the UK, the country stops. Oh no, it's snow. We've got to stop. Everything stops. And that's what happened. I gave myself, you can imagine, the most important audition of my life. I gave myself an extra 2 hours to get there, and it just disappeared in the snow. And then I was 2 hours late. Oh no, I really thought that was it, man. I had no chance whatsoever. I got there and everybody looked really fed up.
Yeah, and how did the rest of the band take it that you were so late?
Well, that was the audition that day. Everybody hung around for me, and I just did the best that I could at the audition. I didn't think I would get it or even be considered for it, really. So I'd learned 10 songs that
Can
they'd
you
said.
remember? Can you
Uh,
remember which ones?
it's Wrathchild, Fear of the Dark, Iron Maiden, The Clairvoyant, Trooper, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and something else that was in the set every time. 10 different. Oh, Afraid to Shoot Strangers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, well, for an hour, I am the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
And
I just did. I just enjoyed being there. I knew every single drum fill, a lot of the bass runs, I knew the solos, because I was a huge fan of the band, and I just I just knew the songs.
yeah, and you just felt that for an hour you were the lead singer of Iron Maiden. That's a dream come true.
Yeah, I thought, I've done all the preparation I could possibly do. Nothing now is going to change this. That's it. I just, all I can do now is just try and enjoy an hour
Yeah,
being the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
fantastic. Yeah. Did you know the other competitors for the position, or
No,
you
I
just
think
didn't care?
that was what was really good. Everybody was kept separate. And so you didn't really know about anybody until after the process. I know Dougie White was one of the candidates. I know he had a really good audition. So, and I've worked with Dougie, and I know him. So, yeah, he was one of the other ones. I don't really know, but Steve,
Yeah. Okay.
a really, really cruel joke that Steve Harris did. I got part 2 of the audition is going to the studio and then recording your voice with a backing track. And I said, will I be able to get a copy of this? And he goes, well, if you don't get it, we'll send you a copy of the bloke that does get it. Bastard.
that was great. Yeah. So
I've
you
never
told me
heard
that.
my audition.
I guess that the others have would have taken your tape with the audition.
Yeah, maybe he would have done the same to them. Like, oh, you failed. By the way, here's a tape of the bloke that got it.
So from the time that you don't have, perhaps you should ask Doogie to
maybe.
send yours.
Yeah, maybe.
So you told me that you thought that you were big because you were different and not because you were a copycat, let's say, of Bruce Dickinson. Do you think that it had also to do with the fact that you are British and Steve Harris doesn't like the fact that doesn't like to work a lot with people outside Great Britain?
No, really.
You look like Bruce Dickinson.
You'd have to ask Steve about that.
Yeah.
Really, it's a British band, and it always has been a British band. It's known as a British band, but I didn't get that sense. You'd have to ask Steve and the rest of the guys. They all were involved in that decision, so you'd have to ask them about. I like to think that it was because I was really good looking, and they thought it would bring a lot more women to the band as fans. But maybe that's not true. But you'd have to ask Steve about it.
You looked a bit alike with Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, it was so fun, man. Years before, Bruce was in New York, and he came to a Wolfsbane gig, and in a magazine, UK Kerrang magazine, on the week before, they had the two photos next to each other of Bruce. And what we did, I mean, it's before mobile phones and that. He bought us a drink, and we had a photo together. I don't know where that photo
I saw that.
I'd love to have that photo of me and Bruce standing next to each other.
I'll send it to you after the interview.
Yeah, you've got it.
I think I've got it. Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I think I got it. I got it. So, your first experience from the writing sessions, you stepped on dog shit from the dogs of Steve Harris. Is that true? Before entering the studio.
The thing is, you say from the dog, it's the size of a small horse. You know, it's massive.
Because
if that thing ever stood up, you'd be like, it's like the Hound of the Baskervilles, man. So, and that's it. And when I arrived at the writing session, it was light, but because it was late in the year, when I went back out to get my notes, it was dark and I didn't see. And that was it, man. And I tried in the dog shit. I thought, I've got to the first writing session. I'm going to be sacked, man. They're going to go, he'll be on the phone. He'll be going, yeah, Blaze is cleaning up dog shit. Can you come over, Dogger? You've got the job, man. You know, something like that. But it was a bloody good writing session. I think we finished Man on the Edge, I think, at that writing session.
Perhaps you should consider changing the lyrics.
Yeah, that was it, man. But yeah, it was good. It was so embarrassing. I just wanted to die. Oh no.
Your first experiences for the audition, you were so late. The first writing session, you stepped on dog shit.
I know.
Man,
I'm so
that's
lucky,
quite
man. I'm so lucky. In my life, I'm lucky.
Tell me some numbers for the lottery. Tell me some numbers for the lottery.
That's it. I'll have a think, man. I'll have a think.
So, did you expect that Iron Maiden would leave you space to write songs and lyrics and use them on the album?
I just didn't think about that because, you know, that's what I did in Wolfsbane. I was a songwriter. I considered that we had some really good songs, and you know, I thought I'd carry on with that. But with Maiden, then you know, it's a different style. Wolfsbane was more rock, Maiden more heavy metal. I love heavy metal. I loved heavy metal then. So for me, to be in a band with 2 guitars just felt great, and long instrumental passages. And here's the other thing, which is difficult for people to understand if you haven't been there, but you're an artist. They call you an artist at the record company, our artists, but they feel absolutely free to interfere with your art, to say, oh, you can't have that cover. That doesn't say Wolfsbane. Or, oh, this song, why have you got that word in there? Or, you know, but they call you an artist. So if that's Van Gogh, are they going to get a brush out and go, oh, excuse me, Vincent, we'll just change one of those stars or one of those sunflowers? I don't think so. And Maiden battled and fought early on, tooth and nail, the band and the management, to keep the record company out of the music, and even to the point that the record company was banned from the studio. That nobody from the record company was allowed to hear any recorded music until it was mixed, mastered, and ready for the factory. And that was it. And they fought so hard for that. And that's why they're independent. That's why they sound like Iron Maiden. And after that, then that was a freedom. I knew that whatever I came up with and we did together in the band, that was it. No one had any say about that whatsoever. And I'll tell you, because of what had happened to us a couple of times in Wolfsbane with different producers and different that was an exhilarating feeling of freedom as an artist. It's like, oh, well, actually, yeah, I pour my heart, my soul, my life into this, and it goes to the fans. Nobody has to approve it. It's outside of the band, and that was an absolutely incredible feeling. But that was fought for, and in my own work since Iron Maiden, I've had those battles, and I've never backed down, and I've been very, very lucky to be where I am now with people that support my artistic vision, my creative vision, what I feel makes the song great, the artwork that I want. I have got a wonderful team with me that support me in that and go, well, if you really think that, okay. And I do, and that's what we're doing. And it's worked out, because in the end, I'm thinking for my fans. So my War Within Me album, and one of the reasons that it has such a strong feeling is going back to the X Factor and going back to those days where you're liberated. It's like, oh, you can do what you want as long as it all fits together and it's great. It's going on the record. So that was a wonderful, wonderful lesson. And Steve Harris was very much like a mentor to me with my songwriting and my singing.
Did you feel any of the times that Steve Harris was dealing with the problems with his divorce and the problem with having having a new singer?
There's absolutely no way around that. But the thing was, they'd already dealt with the situation of the new singer, because it really wasn't about a new singer. It was about the fact that what had been a successful team, somebody left that. And for fans, their favourite singer left their favourite band. That was tough. It wasn't about me coming in, because when I came into Iron Maiden, I loved it and I was enthusiastic. And as a fan, this is the greatest heavy metal band in the world, in my opinion. And I'm a part of it. And let's get out there and do it. You know, no one person is bigger than Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is a band that produces this incredible sound and these great songs. And really, it's wonderful to have the voice of Bruce Dickinson on those songs, but also it's a song, and another singer with another voice can do a wonderful job, even though it's from a different direction. I'm much more introspective, dark in the way that I sing. Bruce is majestic and big and bright, and I'm dark and fierce. And that's the difference between us. So you've got one guy here, one guy, and I don't think for a minute that Steve had a problem with the new singer. The conversations we had, he just enjoyed my enthusiasm, a new energy coming into Maiden, going, you know, when magazines in the UK were saying Maiden is irrelevant, they are dinosaurs, you should be listening to Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. That's what's happening now. And we were playing in Greece to, I think, what was it, 18,000 people there. And we did 2 nights in the stadium there. But man, and 10,000, 20,000 people a night in Spain. And they were saying in the UK, the home, the cradle of heavy metal, the home of Iron Maiden, oh, it's like Jurassic Park. These guys will be gone soon. They're going to die out. They're dinosaurs. Ha ha, where is grunge now? And here I am making albums of metal music, and Maiden are still continuing and making relevant, good quality music. So they were completely wrong. And it was never for the journalists to decide. It's always been the fans who decided if Iron Maiden would continue. It's the heart of the fans. And I'm very lucky in what I do that Blaze Bayley fans have that heart too. No one outside, no matter what they write about me, has any influence on my fans. My fans make their own mind up. Is it a good album? I think it's good. I'll get the next one too. Is it a crap album? Well, maybe I'll give the next one a chance. And that's it. And the Maiden fans were like that. So for me, that pressure was there. Obviously, those guys have been going as that team for such a long time. There was, you know, they knew where they were. It was a new, uncomfortable situation. Steve did have problems in his personal life, and he was distracted sometimes, and you could see he was feeling it sometimes. But also, when he was in that studio and when we were doing those songs, man, he's razor sharp. Razor sharp. Oh, that bit, this bit, no, goes like this. And then we've got Sign of the Cross, and we've got Man on the Edge, and we've got The Aftermath, and we've got Judgment of Heaven, and Lord of the Flies. Back, it's, you know, we've got these big, huge ideas coming out, but there's a darkness there, which in my own work on War Within Me, then my darkness is there, man. It's explored, it's laid bare for everybody to see the truth of who I am and what I experience. And I think the X Factor does that. It opens up, and you can just feel that there is a darkness. I think the reason the X Factor is still relevant now is that we all have that darkness, and it connects to many of us in a very special way that a lot of people will never understand. And people come to me by free meet and greet before this COVID situation and say, oh, this song means so much to me, and your voice meant this, and I've lived with your voice, and it's done this, and it's very, very humbling to hear that something you've done, you put your heart and soul into it, but you did it for you, has then gone and had a life and affected people in a positive way. It's incredible.